Welcome to ViewTheRace.com. This is the Bay State Marathon from Lowell, Massachusetts. The Bay State Marathon is a very fast and flat course with minimal turns and just a few hills. Very fast marathon course. Many people use this course to qualify for Boston. Most of this course runs right along the Merrimack River. The Merrimack River will always be on your right-hand side, and we cross over several bridges during this course which cross over the Merrimack. As we cross near mile 1, we're going to go down a nice little downhill before the road flattens out again. University of Massachusetts is on the left-hand side. Views of the river on the right. Very flat road. Small hill coming up. This is one of the few small hills on the course. Nice downhill on the backside. This is Middlesex Street in Lowell. A good portion of this course is divided into 2 loops. This is not part of that loop, so we'll be only going through this section just this one time. As we near the Rourke Bridge, we're going to continue straight on Middlesex Street. If you were doing the half marathon, you would have taken a right and head up and over the Rourke Bridge. But we're going to head straight. There are very few turns on this course, but at this part of the course we move inland a little bit before we get back onto Princeton Street and then work our way back to right alongside the river. Just a small inland portion to this course. Princeton Street is rolling, just small rolling hills, gradual inclines, nothing extreme. And this part of the course we will be doing twice. So everything you have seen since the Rourke Bridge, you will have to do that 2 times. Stay hard right onto Princeton Street. Now the stretch from Princeton Street from here until the Tingsboro Bridge, before we take a right and go over the Tingsboro Bridge, is rolling, with the biggest hills on the course, biggest 2 hills on the course being right here, up and over the railroad bridge. It's just a short but steep hill, then a sharp downhill, and then another short but steep hill. And you will have to go over these 2 hills twice. The road does flatten out after the slight downhill, and we continue straight through Vinyl Square. A little bit of a tricky intersection, but there'll be plenty of markings, and continue straight. As we come down this slight downhill, the road now flattens out, and most of the next several miles just have a few small rolling hills but are primarily flat. The river is on the right-hand side on the other side of these buildings. This is a good stretch of road to settle into your pace without having any hills and no turns, just a nice straight road. Views of the river on the right. As we approach mile 6, it's the start of the few rolling hills in Tyngsboro. First time around, you probably might not even notice some of these hills. On the second time around, you may notice them once the legs start to tire. They're not big hills, they're just small rolling hills that work on your legs, especially since your legs get used to running on flat terrain for a long stretch. Then you hit a few rollers and your legs start to complain a little bit. Stay to the right as you can see the Tyngsboro Bridge in the distance. We're going to be going over the Tyngsboro Bridge. So we'll take a right onto the bridge and cross the Merrimack. At the end of the bridge, we'll be taking another right onto Pawtucket Boulevard. This side of the boulevard, this side of the river is very flat. You don't have to deal with the hills of Tyngsboro. It's just a long, flat stretch of road for the next 5 miles. Take a right onto Pawtucket Boulevard. This is some new construction. So for the next 5 miles, basically this is what you're looking at. Flat, straight road with no turns. The next turn is the Rourke Bridge. And keep in mind you will be doing this loop twice. The river is, again, all down the right-hand side. A little bit of rough road through this section, but nothing you shouldn't be able to deal with. Now across the border back into Lowell as we continue to head towards the Rourke Bridge. As we near the bridge, stay on the right. Now once we take a right, the road kicks up just a bit, and the Rourke Bridge itself is on a slight incline in this direction. So it's pretty cool to run right in the middle of the Rourke Bridge. But just remember, it's a slight incline, and as soon as you break free from the bridge, there'll be a pretty good downhill. It's a short but pretty fast downhill. And again, stay to the right-hand side as you'll be taking a sharp right back onto Middlesex Street. So stay to the right side of the road after you get over the Rourke Bridge. And take a sharp right back onto Middlesex Street, and we'll start our second loop. Coming up on the halfway mark of the course. Now for the second loop, I have sped up the video just a bit, as it is exactly the same as it was the first time around. And stay right through this part, right onto Princeton Street. Now these hills are going to hurt the second time around, these two big hills, but again, they're not that long. This is the second one's worse than the first. And then soon the road flattens out, and then you'll have a nice downhill right here before the road flattens out again. Heading into the hills of Tingsboro the second time around. You will probably feel these rollers more than you did the first time around. But they are short-lived. Stay to the right as you'll be going up and over the bridge for the second time. Now the next 7 or 8 miles are a very crucial part of the course. Since we won't be going over the Rourke Bridge for the second time, we'll be continuing straight. The road actually continues completely flat for 2 additional miles before there's a few rolling hills. You can settle into a rhythm now. You can pretty much cruise right to the 24-mile mark without it really hitting any hills at all. And also no turns. Just right on Pawtucket Boulevard the entire way. Now, as we head up towards the Rourke Bridge for the second time, we're going to continue straight. Views of the river on the right. Brought the film down to the regular speed now that this is a new part of the course, though it looks very similar to what we had just been looking at. The Lowell Beach on the right-hand side. As we come up to the lights at Mammoth Road, as soon as we get through the lights, we're going to have a decent downhill, followed by a decent uphill. Both of them are very short, but the change of terrain may mess up your legs a little bit, especially at this point in the course. This hill is short, but it's going to be tough, especially since you haven't encountered any hills in quite a while. Really, not since the hills of Tingsboro. And a similar downhill right after the University Ave Bridge lights, and then the road flattens out as we head towards the finish line. The rest of the course is completely flat as you pass mile 25, heading in. Stay to the right, we're going to be taking a right over another bridge, the Aiken Street Bridge. Another cool bridge to run over. Beautiful red bridge. Lowell Spinners play baseball in the park on the right. We're going to be taking a left on Perkins Street. In the distance, you can see the Tsongas Arena, but we have to run around the arena and finish in the front of it. But we are looking right at the Tsongas, at the side of the Tsongas Arena. As we cross mile 26 at the end of the road, we'll be taking a left and heading towards the Tsongas. When you come up to the lights, we take a left, and you'll be able to see the finish line. Thank you for viewing the race at viewtherace.com.